Alright, so let's open up Medibang Paint. I literally just installed it a while ago, then click New Canvas and select Create. Now before we draw anything, make sure to mess with the correction first. My fingers are shaky as hell, so this is gonna make the strokes smoother. So the higher the correction, the smoother, though it's a bit slower. So I drew a circle. Look at that perfect circle, and then we're gonna draw a line across the circle. A little to the left because he's facing to the right, and then a horizontal line just below the circle. With that, we're just gonna draw the jaw like so, and then the ears. So after that, let's draw the neck. So in the intersection of the lines, draw a curve there. The eyes are one eye apart, so basically that's a guide to help us not screw up and draw them too far or too close to each other. And yeah, I drew the nose and the mouth. The nose is literally just a diagonal line, and then the mouth is just a little above the chin. And now we're gonna draw the hair. Like I say in all of my videos, all the hair is just branching out from one direction. So just add a point to guide you. So now we're gonna have this really messy piece of crap, okay? We're simply gonna erase the guidelines so that when we trace our sketch, we won't get confused by all the lines. It's okay if you mess up and erase a bit, we're gonna redraw it anyway. Alright, so if you clicked on this button, the layers would show up. We only have one layer, and that's the one we drew on. We're gonna lower the opacity to about 50%, or you could go lower. Then create a new layer. This time we're gonna work with a smaller brush. The size of the brush should only be 1 pixel big because the lines in anime are usually thin. But if you want, you can draw with a bigger brush if that's your thing. So we're basically gonna trace over our sketch, except this time we should make smoother lines, and then also add more details. So you can make the other layer invisible so you can see what the line art looks like. So in this part, I basically just erased it all. I was drawing with a 2 pixel brush instead of 1. So yeah. Next, I drew the ears. I don't know how to explain it, I just basically draw it like this. And then draw the hair. So basically, I'm starting from inside then out, so that they look like a bunch of layers. In my last video, I said that the hair is just a bunch of layers of bananas. His hairstyle is pretty common, but the thing is that his hair is just a bunch of bananas. It's literally layers of bananas, bananas stacked upon bananas. Keep that in mind when you're drawing hair. So basically, just imagine that. I promise that it's gonna make it a lot easier for you. So yeah, I was just finishing up on the line art. I also drew his shirt, but if you don't want him to have clothes, well, that's your thing, man. So, as you may notice, the details are a little bit messy, but I'm not gonna fix that anymore because my fingers hurt like hell. By the way, in case you're curious, the whole drawing took me 1 hour and 6 minutes to make, so I'd say that's pretty fast. Now, let's move on to coloring. We're gonna make another layer and put this layer below the line art layer. So basically, just select a neutral skin color for our base, and start filling out the outer part like so. Then we're gonna use the bucket tool. I played around with the options, but just basically fill it with that same color. Then fill in the gaps with a smaller brush. So next, we're gonna select Protect Alpha. This is gonna lock your drawing's transparency, which means that you won't be able to draw anywhere except the parts that you already drew on. So yeah. I selected a darker color and shaded the neck. Then with another color that's just slightly darker than the base color, I shaded parts such as the eyes, and I also shaded the right side of his face. So of course this looks like crap right now, so we're gonna fix that by using an airbrush tool. We're just basically gonna soften the lines using an airbrush tool and then use the darker shade again just to define it just a little bit more. I also shaded the parts beneath the hair. Now for the eyes, I use a dark grayish color. I like drawing eyes this way, but if you want, you could just use white. But like, that's kind of boring though. I shaded it with a darker color. And then I filled it with a dark greenish color because green is the best color ever. And then I shaded that too with a darker greenish color. So now let's color the hair. Make another layer. So like what I did with the skin, I basically just followed the line. Since the layer for the hair is below the layer for the skin, we can color over the skin. It's not going to be visible anyway. Now this is optional, but you can use an airbrush to lightly brush the skin color over the hair. Apparently it makes the colors blend well together. So now let's shade the hair. Still with the airbrush tool, I selected a darker shade of brown and just shaded the hair. Like what I did with the line art, I shaded it from inside out. Then with another darker shade, I basically just put more depth and then just a little bit of highlights. And then I just added some details to the eyes and added some highlights with pure white. Lastly, I just colored his shirt. So I'm not really sure if you guys like this vertical video format. I didn't intend it, I just forgot to rotate my phone because I'm an idiot. But if you like this type of format, please do say in the comments. Anyway, this is the finished drawing. I hope you guys liked it and found it useful. What tutorial should I make next? Comment below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay cool.